15 things you should quietly remove from your life. Life advice. Stoicism. Introduction. There comes a point in life when you realize that becoming a better person isn't always about adding more. Sometimes, it's about removing what no longer serves you. Removing the people who constantly drain your energy. Removing the habits that keep you weak. Removing the need to explain yourself. Removing the fear of what people think. Removing the endless comparison. Removing the anger, the excuses, the distractions, and the desire to control things that were never yours to control. The ancient Stoics understood something incredibly powerful. Your life becomes lighter when you stop carrying things that were never meant to be carried. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus didn't teach people to chase a perfect life. They taught people to develop a stronger mind, one capable of remaining calm when life becomes difficult. And sometimes, strength means knowing what to walk away from. So in today's video, we're going through 15 things you should quietly remove from your life if you want more peace, discipline, confidence, and emotional strength. And remember, quietly means you don't need to announce your transformation. You don't need to tell everyone what you're changing. Just change. Let your life speak for you. And if you enjoy practical Stoic wisdom and life lessons that can help you become stronger mentally, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Let's begin. 1. Remove the need for everyone's approval. One of the greatest sources of unhappiness is the desire to be liked by everyone. You change your opinions because someone disagrees with you. You dress differently because you're worried about judgment. You avoid opportunities because you're afraid people might laugh at you. You constantly ask yourself, "What will they think?" But here's the problem. You are giving other people control over your mind. Epictetus taught that we should distinguish between what is within our control and what isn't. Other people's opinions? Not yours to control. Their reactions? Not yours to control. Their approval? Not yours to control. So why build your identity around something you cannot control? Live according to your values. Be respectful, but don't become a prisoner of approval. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't even need everyone to agree with you. Sometimes the most peaceful decision you can make is simply to say, "I know who I am, and I don't need to prove it." Remove the need for approval, and you will begin to experience freedom. 2. Remove toxic relationships. Not everyone deserves permanent access to your life. Some people encourage you. Some people challenge you. Some people inspire you. And some people repeatedly drain you. They criticize everything you do. They manipulate your emotions. They only appear when they need something. They disrespect your boundaries. They bring unnecessary drama into your life. Stoicism teaches us to pay attention to the things that influence our character. Because the people around you can influence how you think, speak, behave, and eventually who you become. This doesn't mean you should hate anyone. You don't need revenge. You don't need confrontation. You don't need to announce, "I'm cutting you off." Sometimes you simply create distance. You respond less. You explain less. You participate less. And eventually, you realize you have created peace without creating war. Quietly remove relationships that consistently destroy your peace. Not out of hatred. Out of self-respect. 3. Remove constant complaining. Complaining can become a habit. Something goes wrong, and you complain. Someone annoys you, and you complain. The weather is bad, you complain. Work is difficult, you complain. Life doesn't go according to plan, you complain. But complaining doesn't necessarily solve the problem. It often makes the problem occupy even more space in your mind. The Stoics didn't teach that difficulties should be ignored. They taught us to respond to difficulties rationally. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I do about it?" Instead of, "This is unfair," ask, "What is the wisest response?" Instead of, "I can't handle this," ask, "What can this situation teach me?" The difference is enormous. Complaining focuses your attention on the problem. Responsibility focuses your attention on the response. Remove unnecessary complaining. You don't need to pretend everything is perfect. Simply stop wasting energy on problems without taking action. 4. Remove the need to explain yourself. One of the most powerful forms of emotional maturity is knowing when you don't need to explain. Not every misunderstanding requires a defense. Not every accusation deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. When you constantly explain yourself, you can accidentally communicate insecurity. You begin trying to convince everyone that your decisions are valid. But here's the truth. People are allowed to misunderstand you. You don't have to chase every misunderstanding and correct it. If you know your intentions are good and your conscience is clear, sometimes silence is enough. The Stoic doesn't spend every day trying to control the story other people tell about him. He focuses on his character. So stop over-explaining. Say what needs to be said. Then let your actions speak. 5. Remove comparison. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy contentment. You look at someone else's house, someone else's relationship, someone else's career, someone else's body, someone else's money, someone else's success. And suddenly your own progress feels insignificant. But you are comparing your entire life to a small portion of someone else's life. You don't know their struggles. You don't know their sacrifices. You don't know what happens behind closed doors. The Stoic mindset asks a different question. Not, am I ahead of them? But, am I better than I was yesterday? That is the comparison that matters. Compare today's discipline with yesterday's discipline. Today's courage with yesterday's courage. Today's wisdom with yesterday's wisdom. Your journey is yours. Stop measuring your worth using someone else's ruler. 6. Remove your obsession with the past. Your past can teach you, but it should not imprison you. Maybe you made terrible decisions. Maybe you trusted the wrong person. Maybe you wasted years. Maybe you lost opportunities. Maybe someone hurt you. Maybe you hurt someone else. You cannot rewrite those moments. But you can decide what they mean going forward. A Stoic doesn't repeatedly punish himself for yesterday. He studies yesterday. He learns from yesterday. Then he returns to today. The past is a teacher, not a permanent residence. So take the lesson. Accept what happened. Make amends when necessary. And then move forward. You cannot build a new life while constantly staring at an old one. 7. Remove the fear of failure. Failure is uncomfortable. But sometimes the fear of failure is more destructive than failure itself. You don't start the business. You don't create the channel. You don't approach the opportunity. You don't learn the skill. You don't take the risk. Why? Because you're afraid it won't work. But what if failure isn't the opposite of success? What if failure is part of the process? Every mistake gives you information. Every setback can teach you something. Every rejection can strengthen your ability to continue. The Stoic understands that outcomes are never completely guaranteed. What matters is your effort, your preparation, and your character. So stop demanding certainty before you act. You will never have complete certainty. Sometimes you have to move forward while still afraid. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is refusing to let fear make your decisions. Remove the desire to control everything. This is one of the most important Stoic principles. There are things you control. And there are things you don't. You control your choices, your effort, your attitude, your responses, your discipline. But you don't control other people's behavior. You don't control the weather. You don't control the economy. You don't control whether someone likes you. You don't control whether every plan succeeds. And the more you try to control the uncontrollable, the more anxious you become. Imagine trying to control the ocean. You can't. But you can learn how to sail. That's how life works. You don't need to control every wave. You need to strengthen yourself enough to navigate them. Remove the obsession with controlling everything. Focus your energy where it actually matters. 9. Remove the habit of seeking revenge. Someone hurt you. They embarrassed you. They betrayed you. And now you want them to suffer. But revenge often keeps you emotionally connected to the person who hurt you. Think about that. You may have physically walked away from them, but mentally you're still living around what they did. You're replaying the conversation. Imagining what you'll say. Thinking about how you'll make them regret it. That's not freedom. That's another form of attachment. The Stoic response is different. You don't need revenge. You need peace. Let consequences belong to life. Your responsibility is to protect your character. Don't become cruel because someone treated you badly. Don't become dishonest because someone deceived you. Don't become bitter because someone broke your trust. Their behavior should not determine who you become. Walk away. Learn the lesson. Become wiser. And keep moving. 10. Remove excuses. Your life changes when you stop negotiating with your excuses. I don't have enough time. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. I'm waiting for the right opportunity. I can't because nobody supports me. Sometimes these statements may be understandable. But if you repeat them long enough, they become an identity. You begin believing that you are powerless. The Stoic asks, what can I do with what I have right now? Maybe you don't have everything. But you have something. Maybe you can't do everything. But you can do something. You don't need perfect circumstances to begin improving your life. You need discipline. Start small. Read a few pages. Exercise for 20 minutes. Learn one skill. Save a little money. Complete one important task. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. Remove the excuses. And watch what happens when you stop waiting for your life to become convenient. 11. Remove excessive distractions. Your attention is one of your most valuable possessions. And modern life is designed to steal it. Notifications. Endless scrolling. Short videos. Arguments online. Celebrity gossip. Constant entertainment. Pointless conversations. You can spend hours consuming information without actually improving your life. Ask yourself, what is this doing to my mind? Not everything that entertains you is good for you. Sometimes boredom is necessary. Silence is necessary. Thinking is necessary. Reading is necessary. Being alone with your thoughts is necessary. Try creating periods where you deliberately disconnect. Put the phone away. Walk without headphones. Sit quietly. Read something meaningful. Plan your day. Think about your goals. Your mind needs space. Remove distractions that constantly pull you away from the person you're trying to become. 12. Remove the need to always be right. This one is difficult. Because the ego loves being right. Someone disagrees with you, and immediately you want to prove them wrong. A conversation becomes an argument. An argument becomes a competition. And suddenly, you're no longer searching for truth. You're trying to win. But wisdom doesn't require you to win every argument. Sometimes the strongest response is, maybe I'm wrong. That sentence requires humility. And humility is strength. If someone teaches you something, learn. If you make a mistake, admit it. If new evidence changes your mind, change it. Your goal shouldn't be to protect your ego. Your goal should be to become wiser. Remove the need to always be right. 13. Remove negative self-talk. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Because you can have hundreds of people supporting you while secretly destroying yourself with your own thoughts. I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. I'm too old. I'm not talented. Nothing ever works for me. These thoughts can become mental habits. Stoicism encourages us to examine our judgments. A situation happens. Then your mind creates a story about it. And sometimes, the story creates more suffering than the event itself. You failed an exam. That's an event. I'm a failure. That's a judgment. You lost money. That's an event. I'll never recover. That's a judgment. Learn to separate facts from destructive interpretations. Speak to yourself with honesty, not cruelty. You don't need fake positivity. You need disciplined thinking. Instead of, I can't, ask, what can I learn? Instead of, I'm finished, ask, what's my next move? Your mind becomes stronger when you train it to search for solutions instead of surrendering to defeat. 14. Remove the need for immediate gratification. We live in a world where almost everything is available immediately. Entertainment immediately. Food immediately. Information immediately. Messages immediately. And this can weaken our ability to wait. But discipline often means choosing what you want most over what you want now. You want to spend the money, but you save it. You want to sleep longer, but you wake up. You want to quit, but you continue. You want to react, but you remain silent. You want pleasure, but you choose discipline. Every time you delay gratification, you strengthen your ability to control yourself. And self-control is one of the foundations of Stoic strength. Don't become a slave to every impulse. You don't have to obey every desire simply because you feel it. Feel the impulse. Pause. Think. Then choose. You are not your impulses. You are the person who decides what to do with them. 15. Remove the belief that you need to be someone else. Perhaps the most important thing to remove is the belief that your life needs to look like someone else's. You don't need to become another person. You need to become a better version of yourself. Maybe your journey is slower. Maybe your circumstances are different. Maybe your path doesn't look impressive to other people. That's okay. The Stoics valued character over appearance. What matters isn't how impressive your life looks from the outside. What matters is who you are when nobody is watching. Are you disciplined? Are you honest? Are you courageous? Are you kind? Can you control yourself? Can you remain calm under pressure? Can you accept what you cannot change? Can you continue when things become difficult? That's real success. Remove the pressure to become someone else. Build yourself. Quietly. Patiently. Consistently. The power of quiet transformation. Now let's bring all 15 lessons together. Remove the need for approval. Remove toxic relationships. Remove constant complaining. Remove unnecessary explanations. Remove comparison. Remove obsession with the past. Remove fear of failure. Remove the need to control everything. Remove revenge. Remove excuses. Remove distractions. Remove the need to always be right. Remove negative self-talk. Remove immediate gratification. And remove the belief that you need to become someone else. Notice something important. None of these changes require you to make a public announcement. You don't need to post, I'm changing my life. You don't need to tell everyone, I'm becoming stoic. You don't need to explain your new boundaries. Just change. Wake up earlier. Think before you react. Speak less. Listen more. Exercise. Read. Work. Save. Learn. Forgive. Walk away when necessary. And keep your promises to yourself. Eventually, people will notice. But by then, their opinion won't matter as much. Because you'll have developed something far more valuable. Inner strength. Final message. Life becomes more peaceful when you stop trying to carry everything. You don't need every relationship. You don't need every opportunity. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need to win every argument. You don't need to respond to every insult. You don't need to control every outcome. And you don't need to prove your worth to the world. Sometimes, the greatest improvement you can make is subtraction. Remove what weakens you. Remove what distracts you. Remove what consumes your peace. Remove what keeps you trapped in the past. Remove what feeds your ego. And make room for discipline, wisdom, courage, and peace. Remember, you cannot control everything that happens to you. But you can control what you carry forward. You can control what you allow into your mind. You can control the habits you practice. You can control the people you give access to. And you can control the person you choose to become. So starting today, don't ask only, what should I add to my life? Ask, what should I remove? Because sometimes your next level isn't waiting for you to acquire more. It's waiting for you to let go. And perhaps the strongest version of yourself isn't created by adding more noise, but by quietly removing everything that no longer belongs. If this video gave you something valuable, subscribe to the channel for more Stoic wisdom, life lessons, and practical philosophy. And remember, control your mind. Control your actions. Accept what you cannot control. And let your character speak louder than your words. Until the next video, stay strong, stay calm, and keep building yourself.